My name's Adam Manaka and I'm the Financial Controller for Hi-Tech Oils. With our national capacity, we can now service Australian companies nationwide. Of late, we have now expanded into the New Zealand market. Here at Hi-Tech Oils, we receive premium base oils and premium additive packs. Together, with our highly trained staff, we manufacture over 500 premium quality products. Hi-Tech Oils is Australian made and Australian owned.
On today's show, we head up to Willowbank Raceway on the outskirts of Brisbane as the biggest and baddest nitro monsters that are the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro funny cars take centre stage. Then we head over to the UK and to the Thruxton circuit in Hampshire for round 7 of the British Sidecar Championship. Then we head to Saudi Arabia for one of the fastest growing open wheeler formulas to hit the world stage. It's the opening round of the 2018-19 FIA Formula E Championship, the Adiria E-Prix. This is Speedweek.
To race a nitro car, certainly it's the dream that every drag racer wants to strive for it.
Nitro, it's just, you can't go back. It's just, I don't know, it must be the noise, the smell, the power that it actually produces.
Nothing compares to a nitro funny car, not at all.
You want a thrill, that's the thrill for you.
It has the head of flames. They are the fastest, they are the craziest.
Once I'm buckled in there and that body comes down and in my own cocoon, that it's an angry one.
The driver does have a lot to do and a lot to get right.
You punch top gear, it's like, whoa! You know, it just pulls you back in the seat, and once you get in the start line, you get again in top gear.
You can't beat these cars. They've always got your attention. You're always fighting them. We put on a show, short, sharp. That's what people want to see.
Everyone's helping each other as well. Everyone supports each other.
Sydney was a good toe in the water. Perth, we had a fast race car. Willowbank, we want a podium. We want one of those bullet trophies.
Yeah, I'd really like to know the name of the guy that came up with the idea of putting 60 litres of explosive nitromethane in the front of a chassis, a hand-built supercharged engine behind it, and then let's just stick the driver in behind that to see how that goes. I mean, what could go wrong?
You don't get a chance to look down for a second at the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Car Series rounds. Freestyle motocross boys mixing it up, getting plenty of air, but they're sucking in the big ones in the pit area right now. The LA Hooker team still facing a race against time. And Anthony Begley himself, Chad, now on the tools, desperately trying to get this car out because we're going out for the next round.
Yeah, I thought drivers weren't meant to get their hands dirty, but that's a good sign right now. They've got the valve covers back on that car. The body will go back on it. Aaron Hambridge will not have a chance, who's the tuner for that car, to fire that thing up to see if it's okay. They will find out when that thing is in the staging lanes, ready to go, and that's where we take you right now because here comes Darren Fry and the Bandit. That is one mean-looking funny car.
Oh, without a doubt. Every car has just got a life of its own. The driver, it's not incidental. The driver is by any means not incidental, but it's the way that the fans relate to the cars. Very, very clever marketing from these guys. It's a big, heavy body too on this car. Probably the heaviest body that they have in the category.
Love the 57 Chev body though on that Nitro Express. Real original style. Darren Fry won on debut and top alcohol at this track a couple of Easters ago. But man, this is a tall order, especially in the form that Rick Dorsey is in.
Man, if only Burt Reynolds could see this thing, eh? Bit of Smokey in the Bandit action. Rick Dorsey comes into it feeling very good, had a strong run in that first round. So much experience for him. Fry, great shot as we roll right in nice and low. And you can see what's ahead of us. Stout crowd, Chad.
They have answered with their feet. Showed up right before the racing started. Pre-stage on both sides. Can anyone beat Nitro Express tonight?
Oh, again, very good light. An 07 light again for Dorsey. He's got this one. Fry did a good job. A 579 against a 573, 385 kilometres an hour. But man, an 07 light is brutal.
That is just a good drag race. Fry's car jumped, but then it didn't really bite down on the start line. No such problems for the Nitro Express. Lost a little bit of ET in terms of how fast it was, but we just like seeing side-by-side, quarter-mile, full-flame pulls like this one. That's brutal. Madness, madness, Wade, absolute madness. And that was the losing pass.
Look at that. Again, Rick just right down the middle of the racetrack. Not having to do too much driving, just straight down the centre. When I say not too much driving, he had the thing pinned. But look at that. That is right down the sticky bit.
Yeah, perfect tune-up for that car. Also an early shoot there for Darren Fry. So still maybe getting used to that car. Oh, the Bumblebee. Unfortunately, it didn't buzz the tyres. And that could hurt on the launch of the throttle here, because if it hasn't got the temperature into the tyres, it might open the door up for this guy.
Now, I would have thought this guy here, Jake Donnelly, would be coming into this feeling pretty good. Harold, of course, he double-bulbed earlier, but you were saying to me earlier, Chad, maybe it's a difference in setup for him.
Yeah, well, they've moved away from their old-school stepper clutch into essentially a much more traditional Nitro funny car style clutch, which is where you let your foot off the clutch early and hold onto the brakes. So it could have messed up his start line procedure, but it's making their car fast, and that's the more important thing. Also having some help from Paul Shackleton helping tune that car lately. Could that be the answer right now?
Nothing in it at the lights, but Bumblebee should get the job done and will run it through. Solid run for Donnelly again, a 594 at 377 kilometres an hour. And that young guy continues to grow his confidence.
Yeah, I love seeing him run fives. Oldest versus youngest as well here this weekend, but Harold doing a really good job here. That car drove through some tyre shake, but he gets a big 640. It's a personal best for him. He's getting faster and faster from the Bumblebee. It's a little cloudy and dusty from all the clutch stuff.
That's clutch dust. You've got so many things to deal with when you're driving these things.
It's not just 402 metres of going straight. There is a lot that goes into it.
So let's explain this to people who are seeing it for the first time, Chad. You actually get points for a win. You get 3 points for a win. You get 1 point basically for taking the green light, for getting the light, and nothing at all if you don't even get to that point. But we're seeing a cumulative point score throughout the course of the night. That doesn't happen in traditional drag racing.
No, it doesn't. And for Dark Horse, he's on 3 points already. Daniel Schultz in the other lane. Fast Company only has the 1 point, but we've seen Gorsey move through with 6 in Nitro Express. We've also seen now Bumblebee on 6 points. So Messinio needs to nail this one and get another 3 points in the bank here, because he needs that to compete in the final round.
So Scholes looking to a little bit of blower frost just at the top there. Conditions here at Willowbank. Great night for drag racing. Fast Company. Scholes needs to step it up and maybe get a win in round 2.
He's got his father at the helm there, just waving him in.
Just listen to that crackle.
Nitro perfection, that's what that is. Oh, that's near the centre line. That's really close to the centre line. Oh, he got the cones. Now, is that enough to be disqualified? 575 with a win light for the Dark Horse, but what was it that got the finish line cones? Was it the header pipes? Was it the parachutes, which would be legal if it was the parachutes? Either way, it drove through a bit of tyre shake. This is going to be a little bit controversial.
3 1,000ths of a second in it, regardless of whether someone gets DQ'd for this. That is a fantastic drag race.
Here, couldn't agree more. He danced with it, whether or not he touched it. Officials are saying no, he didn't. So that is a good sign at the moment.
You've also got a lot of air disturbance out the left-hand side as well, so it might not actually be the body of the car that struck the box.
Here we go, this will tell us. Getting closer, closer, closer. Ooh. Well, the thing is, the officials have to make that call from the start line. They don't get the advantage of using a video, and he is fit to fight another day.
And nobody has moved an inch off the edge of their seats. I love one bad Kiwi. That thing has just got a mean look about it. Big, bold sign writing on the side, as we said earlier. He's known for his impressive reaction times, is Maurice McMillan, but he needs to step it up in this one. He got hosed in round 1.
Time Traveller versus one bad Kiwi. McMillan's search for a first round three-pointer continues, unfortunately.
Look at that artwork, that is bad.
Now, both these guys here, Wade, on 1 point. If they want to have any chance at a podium, they need to win this race. Someone's going to be disappointed here. Big crowd at Willowbank watching on as they creep forward into the beams.
Oh, it's an ugly run for the Kiwi, and Pirano will eat him alive. Strong run down the middle, 6.07 against a 6.59, and off the hit, McMillan struggled.
Yeah, that wasn't right. Something about this was not
Shake.
right. It just...
Watch this for Shake.
Oh, that is awful. That's the kind of stuff that'll give you a serious headache. That's a pass the Panadol moment for Maurice McMillan. Was it clutch failure, or did they just get the setup wrong? They usually don't go that bad, but he had the bravery to step back on the loud pedal.
Can you even imagine what that must do to your body physically when the car is shaking like that? Red Devil back out, Shane Olive up against Stormtrooper by the looks of things. This is a good battle. Lay up against Olive, a couple of really good operators.
Now, only the 1 point so far for the Stormtrooper. Here he is. Had to pull some Jedi mind tricks on this guy. Shane Olive and the Red Devil. On 3 points, looking good, back in form. He's had a couple of wins lately.
Shane Olive's a real motorsport junkie across the board too. Doesn't mind getting out to see a sprint car race from time to time. These guys that work out of this shop, they really love their motorsport. Bit of a shake of the head then, and oh well, may the force be with you. You're going anyway. Lay. He could carry a car if he had to. Lay in the nearest lane to us, up against Olive and the Red Devil to the left. Willowbank Raceway for the Nitro Outlaw Funny Cars. A 119 light, and it is good night. Olive's in good touch tonight.
Oh, the Stormtrooper put up a late fight, wasn't enough. 6.14 is cause for concern for Shane Olive. That thing's usually bulletproof in the 5s. Let's break it down for you. Shifting, everything seemed okay, just never really revved up. And then he shut it off early because he must have been concerned with the fact that the RPM never really climbed. Unbelievable slow-mo vision of the Stormtrooper. What a great shot. And that means that the Red Devil has the perfect 6.
Now, what an effort from Begley and the team here for LA Hooker to be back out there. Remember, they had huge motor issues. You showed an absolutely destroyed piston earlier on, so Begley and the boys have made it back out.
Yeah, and the car is fired up, which is the good news.
And not to be anything against the backdraft team here with Walford, this is a good chance for them to bag 3 points in. Begley needs to make some points here.
Well, he got the 3 points for essentially a first round bye, so he's trying to go to 6 here as the body comes up.
Now, is this just a check here?
Yeah, it will be. Usually we don't lift the bodies up on these cars unless we have something to be concerned about. Looking around the fuel system here.
Thank God for the iPhone light.
It's coming in handy right now. Now, it looks like that car may have a fuel leak down there, so this, unfortunately, might be enough to get that car shut down.
That is brutal if that's what's going to happen. These boys have absolutely thrashed Jad. You've been in the pits watching all that's been going on here.
Aaron Handbridge walks away in disgust. They couldn't get it done properly, and it means this guy is on the perfect 6 on debut. Now, can he keep it straight this time?
Yeah.
Still putting out cylinders on the left-hand side, but it doesn't matter. He has 6 points. How about that?
That's a great result for Darryl and the boys. Look at that, they're absolutely wrapped. And why wouldn't they be? But man, cause for concern for LA Hooker. Now, can they get back out? They can still come out for the 3rd round. That's the beauty of this. The fans will not miss a chance to see them, but let's hope they've got that problem sorted. Hectic action in the pit area is guaranteed. Chad is down there now finding out what's going on.
So 2 rounds of racing down here at Willowbank, and the team with the most work to do. One bad Kiwi. Clutch issues, which saw them pretty much go to 1-to-1 clutch at the end of the burnout, meant that it was impossible to drive that car, and unfortunately they have not had a good night just on the 2 points. But the state of play, as it stands at the moment, we have 5 drivers on the perfect amount of 6 points just like we saw in Sydney. So what that means is that as we head into the final round of racing, we have all 5 drivers that are in contention to take the win. So it's not enough to just get the win light, you also need to get that low ET.
For us, it was a decent run. It nosed over down the other end, so it needed a little bit more fuel in it. Right now we've got an oil leak, so we've got to change the front seal, but on 6 points, we're going to get after it.
Oh, how close is this? Like 5? Jesus, we have to be on our game now.
This deal is really tough because these guys are fast. You know, that last race, it was close. You know, like it sort of rattled in low gear, banged it in the top, and it just drifted towards the center line. I kept pulling it. I thought, oh, have I? And I thought, oh, well, they made the call and I didn't, so win.
I need to get myself another win light, low ET, and yeah, get to the other end and hopefully be faster than everyone else.
Daryl, I hear you have some bad news.
Yep, we're on 6 points, and unfortunately we've broken a $10 bit. It's on the valve spring, so I don't have a spare part to pull that bit off, and we're done and dusted, unfortunately. We're going really well for our first meeting, but unfortunately I don't want to destroy an engine.
Drag racing can be brutal at times, that's for sure. The final round is coming up after the break. From Willowbank Raceway, look forward to your company after this.
Tension is palpable. Willowbank Raceway, final round of the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars for tonight. We have 4 drivers on the perfect 6 points. The Stormtrooper is not one of them, but it pays to try and win every race. You never know where you're going to end up. One bad Kiwi fighting for a bit of honour tonight.
He's had one bad night. Unfortunately, it has not been a good time at all for McMillan. This is the chance to at least run one in. Wow, the Stormtrooper.
He had a good old look at the other lane then.
Wow, he got caught up in the tractor beam then, didn't he? Maurice McMillan, what can he do? 3rd and final run for this guy. And Greg Lay in the Stormtrooper would love to deliver the knockout blow. Remarkable 5 cars in total. You take Warford into account on the perfect 6. Has that happened before?
Oh, it's very rare would be the easy answer for that one. But we did have a situation down in Sydney where we had about 4 or 5 guys competing for it in the final round. It sets it up beautifully for tonight. This is a bit of a precursor. One bad Kiwi. Thump it and say, let's get this on. We deserve 3 points tonight. Huge rebuild in the clutch transmission area. Lenko for this car to get it ready in between rounds 2 and 3.
Final run for both these guys. Both wanting to go out on a high note. 142 against a 1.8 line. Lay has to come from behind them, and McMillan will do the job anyway. Even though he wandered through the centre onto the dark side, it was McMillan that did the job.
Man, who says Kiwis can't fly? That was a big old run from one bad Kiwi. Just fishtailed its way down because this track is getting a little bit greasy with the dew here tonight. That was a great example of how much it was moving. The Stormtrooper came over to high-five him. That got a bit NASCAR there at the end. Wild race at well and truly over 350 k's an hour.
Yeah, that was a lot better. We've had a nightmare of a night, but the boys just span it away so hard, man. And Aaron tuning the car just said to me, man, hold on, because this thing's either going to go fast or it's going to go nowhere. But fastest we've ever been. Man, it's just wicked. It's still rattled a bit, but man, after the night we've had, that's wicked. That's all we wanted.
First pass I've done in this car without it shaking the tyres, and you were here. And I'm going, Jesus, and the next thing I hit high gear and I got to about 800 foot and it starts going like this. And I went, I think it'll be all right, I think it'll be all right. Oh, it's not going to be all right.
Oh, man.
Keeping the energy up now, Darren Fry. The Bandit lowers the body down.
You know what's amazing about that is McMillan was so out of breath after a 6-second run. It gives you an idea how much they are being physically punished inside these cars. The G-forces they're fighting, how brutally physical the cars are.
And dripping sweat too, and it's actually quite cold here now. The conditions have changed a huge amount. We welcome Insanity. It's been getting faster and faster, but gee, this is a tough matchup. The Bandit is definitely here to play now.
Regardless, Harold has had a really good night in this Insanity car as he pulls up in front of us. As you said, a new clutch system for this team, and Harold's starting to get quicker and quicker. Already with a PB tonight. Be a great way to top it off with another strong run.
We are taking you as close as you can possibly get down there right now. Final round of racing. It's got colder and the track is starting to get slipperier, and these cars are going to make only more power in these conditions. And again, Harold, with that new clutch combo, finding the beams a bit earlier than he would have liked. Which means Fry has to hurry it up. He's in.
good life for Harold. A 1-3 for him. Fry, throws the belt as well, but rips it home. A 5.96, a 6.51 for Harold. He's just got to get himself sorted with the staging.
And he's in a real rush to pull that car up, Darren Fry. He was pulling back on that brake. You could see the car bouncing around. He was worried, I think, of a fire. Judging by the way he reacted and it through the belt, there was a lot of sparks from underneath that car. And that bouncing right there, that's him on the brake. This will be a great example of it. You can see the brake near his right hand. He'll be reaching for that at nearly 400 k's an hour. Let's watch. This is a real intense moment. There, he's on it. He's worried. A lot of smoke getting in that cabin, but he's A-OK. And this is one of the heavy hitters now. This is for points. This matters.
This would have to be the hot favourite rolling in. Rick has been absolutely superb in Nitro Express. His reaction times have been stout. His ETs have been awesome. Down the guts every time. Rick would have to be one of the hot favourites.
And the guarantee here is 3 points. But he needs to go fast. He's on a solo pass here, Wade, but it's not enough. He needs to be quick, but then be quicker than all the other guys after him that are also going to be on 9 points. So it's not enough to just take the win light. He needs a big run.
0.13 on the lights. Let's have a look at the ET. Runs it in a 5.72. That'll do. That will put the pressure on big time. Jad, do you think it's actually harder to run a solo pass in this situation where you haven't got someone, or is it the distraction, do you think?
Well, these guys are so good at running their own race that sometimes I don't even know if they even feel the other car in the other lane, but Rick Gorsey's so experienced, knew that he needed to make this run count, and that's the most that car has moved all night, but it's still a good number to beat, 5.72.
We took a little bit of clutch off it to slip the car down the track because we thought it might get a bit dewy, but I think it needed it back on. But anyway, 72, they got to chase it, and it's one hell of a number to chase on this time.
Rick Gorsey here at Willowbank sits on top at the moment with 9 points and a 5.72 as the time to beat. Neither of these two guys, though, are on 6 points.
Begley has had a brutal night at the office, hasn't he? Really has not been able to even enjoy the experience. That team have been in the pit thrashing all night. And Schultz, too, has had his hands full, but nothing like LA Hooker.
Big rebuild for these guys. Schultz coming to terms with a different car. Well, the problem was because they didn't get to actually run the car down the quarter mile after that first round blow-up, they don't know if they found the fuel issue that caused the lean-out, that caused the blow-up in the first place. So this is a voyage of discovery here for LA Hooker. Let's cross our fingers.
I love it. You just got to get after it. No R&D, just let it all hang out. A 1.19 strong run for Scholes. Can he get it done? Oh. Yes, and gee, it's ugly for Begley.
Oh, that was a huge blow-up. 5.95 for Fast Company. I think I saw some dislodged cones, by the way. He may have clipped the mid-track cones. Let's have a look. It's very tough to tell from behind.
There's a lot going on inside this car. Still a great drive job from Begley.
I wouldn't be surprised if for Begley this is blown up again. First, let's watch the right-hand side as Schultz comes over and just clips that first cone. Then to the left, bang! Huge blow-up, and Begley does a really good job catching it. Looked like the left-hand side of that motor took a beating. But officials saying that Schultz has got the win. So despite the fact that he got very close to the centre line, he holds on. You can see parts going up and over the fence there for Beggs. Youch. Meanwhile, down in the deep end.
Look at that. He's absolutely worn out. We talked about that before, didn't we? The fact that it's just so physically punishing. He's exhausted.
We heard the F word then, fire, as well. I think they might have been referring to Beggs. And he needs a little bit of a lie down. Yeah, you're saying earlier, Wade, that these guys are putting themselves through unbelievable amounts of stress in driving these cars. And that was a graphic example.
This has been, for my money, the story of the round so far. Donnelly, how good this young guy. Some unbelievably good lights for him. The Bumblebee entry. Can this continue into the third round?
He's up against probably the hungriest guy here, I reckon, tonight. In the dark horse, Paul Massinio, born in Sydney, now lives up in Queensland. And he was livid with himself for a whole shot loss that came in Sydney back in November, December. He vowed to never let it happen again. There's also been reminded of it once or twice. But Jake Donnelly with those reaction times earlier, and
look at the
Dorsey watching on down to the deep end.
It's like an expectant father, isn't he? Outside the maternity ward. He's got a lot to wait for. Great shot.
Makes them look like Hot Wheels cars when they pull up at the staging beam. So the numbers here, both these guys on 6 points. They need to not just get the win, they also need to go quicker than the 572 to knock Rick Gorsey out of first place. That's the scenario.
Who's going to come in first? Donnelly is in the Bumblebee. What can Massinio do with him? What a light! That is a champion's effort. An 07 light. Donnelly's gone.
Maybe, no! Oh, I thought he had that. I thought he had it. If he could keep it hooked up, I thought it'd go quicker than a 72. Not quite. I think maybe they've gone a little bit conservative with the clutch setup as well. Trying not to smoke the tyres. Gee, busy work to the right there as he was nearly full right hand down trying to catch that car. Man, he put his best foot forward.
Jeez, what a great light. That's the perfect way to start it.
Oh, yeah, it wiggled all right at half track. But yeah, 07 light. He said he never wants to be beaten on a whole shot again. Well, he did his best right there.
One more, bro. One more. One more.
580.
Good race, man.
Oh, man, it was loose.
Steering throttle wasn't catching you. Doing some of these ones like, nah, should I be okay?
I love the deep end discussions down there. Pirano has been solid, but this guy still has a chance. Olive, can he do the job? Of course he knows. Out of all these guys, this is someone he still has to worry about. He's got a scary look as well at times, isn't he?
Straight down the barrel. Now he is on 6 points, and the last pairing is here.
Come on, Rick, what are you worried about, son?
The nervous wait is nearly over. In about 10 seconds' time, we will crown a winner. Is it going to be Rick Dorsey, or is it going to be the Red Devil? To the right of screen, he needs to go quicker than 572 and win this race. Surely the conditions are impossible now. Oh, dead even at the tree, Wade. This is on. It's going.
Jeez, Olive looks good. It's a 566.
66.
Oh, Gorsey is absolutely gutted. And
awesome.
Olive puts a blinder together. That is a pressure drive.
That is the grandstand finish that only the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro funny cars can deliver in quarter mile action. What a run. Clinch run, this one, and it went just slightly towards the centre line. He saved it, got it through the stripe with the number that he needed. He earns that win.
We were sitting in the staging lane. It's been a long wait. Deciding, do I take clutch off it? Do I leave it? Anyway, I left it. And yeah, the good old Red Devil trucked on through there, and we'll take the win. My crew, all these guys that are in the workshop, Graham and Wendy Cowan, Rocket, Aeroflow, without them, this ain't possible.
What a nail-biting finish. I love the trophies too. Plenty of happy faces. The crowd got their money's worth tonight, Chad.
Unbelievable show. The billet rockets have been handed out. That's your podium. Massinio, Gorsey, and then Shane Olive. He is the winner here at Willowbank. The next time we go racing is further north, up at Springmount Raceway outside of Cairns. A brand new racetrack, definitely worth checking out. This has been the Aeroflow Outlaw Nitro Funny Cars. On behalf of Wade Oranger, thanks for watching.
There's more to come after the break as we head over to the Thruxton circuit in the UK for round 7 of the British Sidecar Championship.